This is one of sport's great proving grounds, a gateway to glory. Brilliant! 29 tournaments spanning 19 countries. Along the way, a chance to expand horizons and sample life on tour.
How beautiful is that? Magic, eh?
Finish the season in the top 20 on the road to Mallorca rankings and secure a golden ticket to the DP World Tour. This is the Challenge Tour. Looking back, the start of the season seems like a lifetime ago. Over the past 7 months, we've travelled to the Middle East and India and spent much of the summer traversing Europe. But for the class of 2024, it all began in the Rainbow Nation in early February. At the first event of the campaign, we met up with Jamie Rutherford at Limpopo, who, though still smarting from narrowly missing out on a place in the top 20 the season previously, was full of hope. Now, with the finishing line in sight, we meet again in Germany.
Jamie, I just want to give you something quickly here, and I want you to watch this and tell me what you're watching.
I certainly know that I've got the game to finish in the top 20.
Watching myself at the start of the season.
You know, compete with the guys out here. I know that it's just a case of putting in the hard work and trying to just keep improving. I think I've done a good job in the last few years of, come the end of the year, being better than I was the year before. I've just got to keep doing that, and if I can do that again this season, then I should have a good chance of being in the top 20, being so close last year. So, you know, let everything else take care of it.
Yeah, the interview at the start of the season at Zabula, the first event, talking some sense, I think, maybe for the first time. I think I'm getting there again. Same, you know, it's difficult when you're in the thick of the season to always see the bigger picture. You obviously get quite wrapped up in the results and how things are going. But I think as a whole, yeah, I'm definitely making steps in the right direction still.
It's been a solid season to date for Jamie, with 5 top 10 finishes, and he was sat 27th in the road to Mallorca rankings, although trying his best not to put too much emphasis on the end of season run-in.
Most of the guys are probably starting to get to that point where you're chasing whatever it may be, whether it's keeping your card, whether it's getting out to China, top 45, top 20. But I mean, the biggest thing, I mean, for me, is to try and completely stay away from that and just really concentrate on the sort of process of what I'm doing day to day. I think last year I did a pretty good job of it. However, I definitely think towards the end of the season it started to become more of a focus, and I probably put a little bit too much pressure on myself come the end, where I desperately wanted to get in the top 20, and it was probably held me back a touch on the golf course, putting too much focus on it. So much golf left. We've obviously got, you know, big points at Grand Final, bigger points at China. Those weeks are going to become, you know, important. But at the same time, you've got to treat them like every other week, and just, you know, the person who does that will be the one that plays well in those weeks, as opposed to thinking about where they need to finish or taking spots. I don't think that's a particularly healthy mindset and something that's really going to help you. We're close to the town, so we'll be in there for dinners and try and spend a bit of time relaxing, you know, find a few nice spots to eat, and I know a few of the other lads are in the hotels as well, so we'll try and go for dinner with a few of the guys and to use downtime like that. I mean, the hotel is very basic, so try and spend as little time in the room as we can, really, because we'll be sweating sat on our beds. We're buying ourselves a fan for the room. We already bought one yesterday, but it was still way too hot last night. So we're going to get a second fan, fix them both aiming straight at us, so we don't need to sit in between. So we'll probably just buy the exact same one again.
I feel like a YouTuber.
Yeah, I know.
Do you?
Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
This is... I feel like a superstar. That was lucky, wasn't it?
Oh, the life saviour. Hopefully.
Best £30 I've spent this week, I'd say.
Now we've got 2 for the room. So hopefully we'll get a better night's sleep tonight than we did last night.
It's a bit of a sauna,
Because
wasn't it,
great.
last night?
No. Here we are.
3 foot from my face, that'll be.
Right, first things first is we get the other fan on.
Yeah. I mean, lad, it's a bit of a state in here.
I mean, look at this.
Look at the state
Can
of
I
it.
just say that,
I haven't unpacked yet.
right,
See, that's what it will look like in about 45 minutes.
got to take them out. First case.
Don't lose them, do you want to hold them?
Yep. Put that one down. We're flying.
Look at that,
It's just saved us this, isn't it? Now I just need a second pillow, because look what I had to do last night. I had to stack my waterproofs under my pillow and then fold my pillow in half. Well, thanks for following us around, guys. We're now all set, comfy with our fans on, and we're ready for a good night's sleep and a good week ahead of us, don't we, James?
I reckon so, mate. It's got quite a bit of power, the old Prime
Yeah,
Master.
that's lovely, that is. Morning.
What was the final outcome of the fan? Everything worked all right? You guys get a decent night's sleep?
We've been fine now. Yeah, both fans working a treat. I've slept really well actually. We just said that the room feels like completely different. So much cooler. It can be quite nice, I think, to go in the afternoon. If you can get off to a good start this afternoon, you obviously have a quick turnaround to get going again tomorrow, which can be quite nice if you feel like you can sort of carry some momentum on. Beautiful.
So after a better night's sleep, it's down to business for Rutherford and the rest of the players as they try and pick up a few new fans on the course at the Big Green Egg German Challenge, powered by VcG. It's our first trip to Germany this season, where the venue, the stunning Wittelsbacher Golfclub, is one of the most picturesque courses in Germany. At almost 7,500 yards, the Parkland layout plays as a par 72, with the 200-year-old oak and linden trees that line the fairways, set to provide a unique challenge and a stern test for the players. Rutherford would be in good company on Thursday afternoon as he began his week alongside a potentially inspiring pair of two-time winners this season, in Swede Joachim Lagergren and Road to Mallorca leader Rasmus Neergaard-Petersen.
I'm sorry. On the tee from England, Jamie Rutherford. Have a good game.
Jamie's start proved to be steady, if not spectacular. On his opening hole, the 10th, he left himself a 10-footer for par. Often, it can be those saves that keep the momentum of a round going. He would go on to record 5 pars in a row before taking advantage of the par 5 15th. After finding the green in 2, he left himself the easiest of tap-ins to go under par for the day. A drop shot on 17 would see Rutherford back to level par, before again finding success on the par 5s, this time with wedge in hand at the first. It's a part of his game that he's been working on in recent weeks. The results are starting to show. He would hand the shot back straight away after bogeying the second, but 3 holes later, Rutherford's impressive iron play was in evidence once again. It would help him to get 1 under with 4 holes left to play. Playing alongside Jamie, the Road to Mallorca leader Neergaard-Petersen produced this at the par 4 7th. Simply sensational from the rankings number 1, who finished day 1 at 3 under par in his quest for his 3rd title of the season. Topping the leaderboard on Thursday night, though, would be Dane John Axelsson, carrying on his fine form from the previous week, where he finished 5th in Sweden. 8 birdies and no drop shots would see the 26-year-old open up with an impressive 64. As for Rutherford, he picked up another birdie at his penultimate hole before tapping in for a 2-under 70 to start his week.
Just going to we're going to try and quickly have a quick shower here and then just grab dinner on the way home. We spotted a restaurant 5 or 6 minutes from our hotel, so get straight there. We've obviously got a very early start tomorrow, so it's always nice playing, you know, early in the morning, so we get some good conditions hopefully and take advantage.
Jamie.
Friday morning, and it was indeed an early start for Rutherford as he attempted to build on his solid opening round. As with the first day, a run of pars saw him settle into his round, although at times he needed some creative recovery work and a bit of luck to avoid dropping shots. Blemish-free for the opening 4 holes, there was a drop shot at the 5th, promptly cancelled out and some by back-to-back birdies just before the turn as his putter delivered the goods. 1 under for the day, 3 under for the week. His back 9 almost mirrored the front. A drop shot at 11 saw him return to level par for the round. 3 pars would follow, before again producing back-to-back birdies, showing a great touch around the greens to get up and down at the par 5 15th for an unlikely birdie, before another gain at the par 3 16th saw him back to 4 under for the tournament. Meanwhile, 22-year-old South African Robin Williams was putting himself in contention for his first Challenge Tour win. 8th in the Road to Mallorca rankings, Williams fired a second round 67 to follow up his opening 66. As for our man Rutherford, well, after holing out nicely for par at the last, it was back-to-back rounds of 70. At 4 under, he would enter the weekend in 19th place and 7 shots back from second round leader Williams.
I can just the exact same game plan really and hit the ball like I have done, and just try and get a little bit of momentum going, hold a few putts early, and then, you know, obviously as you can see from the leaderboard, some guys are getting it going and shooting some good scores, so it's out there, and I feel like the challenge is really off the tee, so I've sort of managed that part well. If I can just do the same for 2 rounds, you know, you never know, you can post a real low one and and get yourself in contention.
Coming up, a multiple major winner reflects on his Challenge Tour experience.
The Challenge Tour obviously prepared me very well and then helped me for sure on the European Tour.
And who'll wear the crown at the Big Green Egg German Challenge, powered by VcG. Welcome back to the Challenge Tour and to Bavaria for the Big Green Egg German Challenge powered by VcG. Heading into the weekend, Robin Williams had been top performer in the early stages, and with 6 top 5 finishes to date this season, he believed a win was due. But with just a 1-shot advantage and with just 3 shots covering the top 5 players, there was still much work to be done. With so much at stake as we enter the closing stretch of the season, and with players jockeying for position on the road to Mallorca, it was all to play for. To see how events unfolded on day 3, time to join commentator Josh Allen.
Perfect conditions on Saturday for the players, and it was a perfect start for Quim Vidal. This is 4th at the par 5 first. A birdie for the Spaniard there, top 20 at the Scottish Challenge, followed up by a top 10 at the Finnish Challenge. It was a 72 for Vidal on Saturday. Oyan Gilamondagi started the day 1 back. That was a birdie at the first for the 19-year-old. 65-69 to start his week. That saw him tied at the top alongside the second round leader, Robin Williams. South Africans were doing well in Germany. Dion Hermesses was 1 back of Williams at the beginning of the day. Just look at the spin he had on that. That led to a birdie at the par 5 for Hermesses. Very fruitful, that first hole for the players. 5 birdies in round 3 for our featured player this week, Jamie Rutherford. Will be a par at the last for Jamie, a 69 in round 3, 10th place with 18 to play. Dan Young was having a lovely Saturday, 4 under for his round up to this point. That birdie on 16 meant he would tie Hermesses at 12 under par at the top of the leaderboard. Frenchman Guillaume Mondigui was coming home in style. Birdies at 14 and 15 was then followed by this birdie at 16. He would join Hermesses and Young at 12 under par. Just one top 10 this season for Young, but he was looking for a trophy in Germany. This at the last led to a final birdie, signed for a 66 and tied for the lead heading into the final 18 holes.
Almost smiling more than me.
All smiles for Dan. Just 2 birdies on the back 9 for Hermesses. This was for par at the last, which he converted. He would join Young and Guillaume Mondigui at 13 under par going into Sunday.
So with 1 round to go, 3 players were tied at the top on 13 under par, with all looking for their maiden Challenge Tour title. There were plenty of other contenders with hopes of making a move on Sunday, including the Day 2 leader Robin Williams, and our man Jamie Rutherford found himself on the leaderboard at 7 under. Now, as a nation, Germany has been remarkably successful on the Challenge Tour, bagging 22 titles over the past decade. Many of those players have gone on to reach even greater heights, but there's one German Challenge Tour graduate who stands head and shoulders above the rest, Martin Keimer. His rise was meteoric. Beginning on the EPD Tour, now the Pro Golf Tour, Keimer won 4 times in the space of 2 months in 2006. That success earned him an invitation to compete in the Vodafone Challenge in Dusseldorf. And Keimer romped to a 2-stroke victory there in his first Challenge Tour start.
My win in Germany, it was huge. You know, that was my first Challenge Tour tournament that I played, and I could win that, and then qualified for the Challenge Tour. There I got a category 1, I think.
With an improved category and further starts coming on the Challenge Tour, Keimer cashed in, winning a month later at the Open de Balkans. He graduated to the DP World Tour the following season, and the rest, as they say, is history.
The Challenge Tour obviously prepared me very well, and that helped me for sure on the European Tour, and there was one reason why I had very early success.
Well, he won with 21 under par 2 years ago, and he's won with 21 under par again this year.
My plan was to play maybe 1-2 years on the EPD Tour, and then maybe I spent 2-3 years on the Challenge Tour because I didn't really know how everything works out, and then hopefully make my way up to the European Tour. But everything happened in 1 year, and that was fantastic to do it that quickly.
Keimer has gone on to win 9 titles on the DP World Tour, the Players' Championship, as well as 2 majors. He's made the summit on the World Golf Rankings and helped Europe to Ryder Cup success on 3 occasions. And it all started right here on the Challenge Tour. We're yet to have a German winner this season on the Challenge Tour, but who knows? Might it happen here on German soil? Let's rejoin Josh for the final round of the Big Green Egg German Challenge, powered by VcG.
Big move was being made on the final day by Danish player John Axelsen. Birdies on 1 and 3 was then followed by another at 4, all down to this outstanding approach to the par 4. That got him to 12 under par. It was a nightmare start for one of our joint leaders overnight. Dion Hermesses had a double bogey at the first, 2 pars followed, but bounced back with a birdie there for the South African. At that point, it was a 3-way tie at the top with Dan Young and John Axelsen. The biggest move of the day was being made by the Road to Mallorca #1. Rasmus Neergaard-Petersen had 4 birdies in his first 7 holes who added to that total with another birdie at 8 for the Dane. Good week for our featured player, Jamie Rutherford. A blemish-free 68 to finish his week. Final birdie came there on the 14th for the Englishman. There's plenty of toing and throwing at the top of the leaderboard. A bogey from Neergaard-Petersen at the 14th, combined with that birdie from Dan Young at 13, meant they were tied at the top at 13 under par. But the Dane bounced straight back with a birdie at the par 5, and it was now Dan Young doing the chasing once again. The other Dane, John Axelson, he was making things interesting. This birdie at the 15th, the par 5, got him to within 1 of the lead. It was all building nicely to a tense climax in Germany. 3 players in with a shout of the title, and after his birdie at 13, Young followed that with another at 14, and then he made a hat-trick, largely down to that bunker shot at the par 5 15th. Neergaard-Petersen, he was just ahead of Young, and he posted the low round of the week, a 64 for Neergaard-Petersen, and he would now just have to sit and wait. Young needed a birdie for the win, a par to get into a playoff, but it was a long-range putt for par at the last. It wasn't to be. He won in the UAE, he won in India, and now Rasmus Neergaard-Petersen gains automatic promotion to the DP World Tour due to this dramatic victory at the Big Green Egg Challenge.
So a look at the final leaderboard after that thrilling finale and confirmation of Neergaard-Petersen's dramatic comeback after his Sunday best 64. Jonas Baumgartner finished as the highest-placed German player, and Jamie Rutherford ended his week in a tie for 9th. But making the headlines once again and on his way to the golfing top table is Rasmus Neergaard-Petersen.
If you asked me before the day if I thought I was going to shoot 8 under, I would have told you, no, you're crazy. You know, I was just hoping to go out and get off to a good start and then, you know, just try to keep it going, really. I'm so excited. Obviously, I've known for a while that I was going to be playing on the DP World Tour next year, but obviously so happy for it. I mean, see however many events I can get to play at the end of the year, but it's just going to be awesome. Just going to be enjoying myself.
A look at the road to Mallorca rankings now, and the newly promoted Neergaard-Petersen's 3rd win of the season sees him extend his lead at the top, with Parry, Lagergren and Moscatel sitting pretty and looking to follow in the Danes' footsteps by completing a hat-trick of season's wins. Players will pay even closer attention to their standings heading into the final stretch. Following his good start, Dion Hermeses will perhaps see the trip to Germany as a missed opportunity, and as it stands, Andreas Halverson occupies that critical 20th spot. And so we've taken another step closer to the season's end, with Rasmus Neergaard-Petersen taking a giant leap to the next level. He'll now look forward to teeing it up at the Irish Open as a full-time DP World Tour player. Our journey towards the Challenge Tour Grand Final continues in Portugal next time. We'll see you there.